Ole Miss survives against Florida, and it's a weird Florida team. I mean, look, when you look at that team on paper, they have way too much talent to be in the situation that they're in. They've not had great coaching. Billy Gonzalez, the interim, is a Florida lifer. He's been trying to make some things happen. They've come close, right? They almost beat Georgia and Jacksonville. Then they almost beat Ole Miss. They've got a chance. I believe they play Tennessee this weekend. Could they catch Tennessee in a vulnerable spot as Tennessee's fighting for their postseason even opportunities? But this is more about Ole Miss. And Gavin, I sent y'all a podcast clip, and I respect the heck out of those guys. They do great work. I just thought it was interesting that the Ole Miss media, and heck, even Tyler Jordan, of Realtree, which is a massive, massive sponsor, and not just a sponsor, like you talk about the money for Oxford, Dad, Realtree ponies up over there. You've got some, I would say, some frustration and uneasiness from the Ole Miss faithful and the media about how Lane Kiffin is handling these questions, and it points the arrow into this direction for me. I think Lane Kiffin appreciates Ole Miss. I think that he is smart enough to realize the opportunity that could happen elsewhere. Now, listen, the grass is not always greener. It is not a guarantee if Lane Kiffin leaves that he wins a national title, whether that's in Baton Rouge, whether it's in Gainesville, whether it's anywhere else. You're never guaranteed anything. But I think the thing about Lane Kiffin for me when I look at this is the fact that he has not come out and straight up denied or shut down the claims. The guy had an opportunity, and Gavin, I don't know if you watched the social media clip that I sent you guys, but when you go back and look at it, had a prime opportunity asked by the media about the growth of the Ole Miss program from being one of those kind of middle tier SEC programs to at least a tier 2 SEC program up in the contention for the SEC title every single year since he's been there. He's doing something in Oxford that has never been done. Lane Kiffin responds with about the atmosphere, which was, I wasn't there, reportedly one of the best atmospheres Ole Miss has had in a very long time. And he comes out and says, well, yeah, it's great, but these guys need this every single week. And where was that last week against the Citadel? Now, for a lot of people, there's going to be an understanding of I'm not showing up that game. That's not the game the SEC plays. And when you're among the SEC's elite, even when you're losing, people show up. LSU had a lower attendance on Saturday, around 85, 90,000. If we're going to be real, that's on the low end. That's 10, 12,000 less than they probably should have. I'm not saying Lane Kiffin's going to leave, but the door has not been slammed shut on this for me. When you talk about Kiffin and what he could bring to the table, listen, I've been very vocal about this. The LSU people that tune into this show, they know it. Don't overthink it. You call Jimmy Sexton, you call Nick Saban, what's it going to take to get the Lane training down to Baton Rouge? That's what it is. Florida's pushing to do the same thing. A lot of rumor mill stuff happening from fan accounts across the country. But the fact that he's not shutting these things down and what he said on Saturday night in postgame, it's only going to fuel that. So this is what's either going to happen. And you can go check out, we'll post the clip here, in terms of, we'll post the clip on social media with what happens and what was said. Lane is either trolling this Ole Miss fan base and going to leave, or he's trolling them and going to stay. And in that clip, some pretty notable Ole Miss media are kind of fed up with it. Like, just make a decision. And the fact that there's not been an agreement to an extension shows you that he's willing to listen, as he should be. He is a hot commodity. He's arguably the most proven SEC coach that is available. Drinkwitz, I know Gavin doesn't love him, has won at Missouri. Lane Kiffin has more of a leash here. He was with Saban in Alabama. We know what he did there. And then obviously he's done some things at Ole Miss that haven't been done. Lane Kiffin, to me, could definitely leave. The fact that he hasn't shut the door tells me it's not out of the realm of possibility. These things are ebbs and flows. They're changing constantly. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll just give my take on this. I cover LSU for a living. I think he could be in Baton Rouge next year. I think he could be in Gainesville. It wouldn't surprise me to see him in Oxford. But the longer this thing plays out, he's playing the money game. Jimmy Sexton's playing the money game. Don't listen to him when he says he doesn't care about money. Then go ahead and sign the extension. If you don't care about it, because on the open market, buddy, because this is what this thing's about to become, you're setting the price. You're setting that market value. So to me, with what you see out of Lane Kiffin in this, it's going to be very, very, very interesting there too. So I think in terms of, I think in terms of what we're talking about with Lane Kiffin, he's a hot commodity on the coaching market. It just wouldn't surprise me. A couple of weeks ago, and the last thing I'll say on this is he mentioned and talked about what he looks for in a program: Heisman trophies, history, winning tradition, and all these types of buy-in. Now, listen, he's starting to build some of those things at Ole Miss. But you just described what Florida and LSU have. So I'm not saying he's leaving. I'm not saying that he's gone. I'm just sitting here telling you the concept that Ole Miss fans might try to push of, he's not going to leave. Copium, drugs, hallucinations. We all hope things happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Lane Kiffin might stay in Oxford. It's going to come at a pretty penny. And that's what he's doing. Eli, I love this guy. He's fantastic. By the way, that's Shea Dixon in a beard. I absolutely love that. You better be ready on the board if Bryce we hired. I don't want to talk about it. Ole Miss boosters, Matthew says. What's up, Matthew? Ole Miss boosters are already searching for their next head coach. So they need to go down I-10 in New Orleans. Try to beat out Auburn for John Summerall. That's what I would do.